merry meet, and welcome to Soulful Sunday here at Ariel's Corner. Sorry about the little false start there. For some reason, my stream stopped, so hopefully everybody's on here okay. It looks like it's doing okay now. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming, I hope, live on YouTube. And moderating today are the lovely Dre and the lovely Honeypaw. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you so much to everybody for joining us. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We don't have a premiere today. I got to get to work right after this, but hopefully we'll have some premieres next week. We are off Monday and Tuesday this week. And let's see, what was I going to tell you? We have a chat thread open on this stream, so if you have anything to say, go ahead and say it. And if you have any questions for me, you can put them in the chat thread, and provided I'm not running too late, I can take those questions. Otherwise, we can bring them on over to either the Facebook group or the Discord server. Speaking of which, if you go to our website, arielscorner.com, you can get the links to both of those places, the Facebook group and the Discord server. Those are great places for interacting with our community, and everybody's just so nice and wonderful. All right, and let's see, we have... what was I going to tell you? We have nothing. Oh, yeah, we are in the midst on Thursdays. We are in the midst of finishing up going through the Marseille Tarot, all of the interpretations, and then we're going to be just going over a couple of spreads. So we have maybe 1 or 2 more weeks of that, and then we will start our next installment of the Angel Magic course. So we don't have anything since the basic Angel Magic. I didn't do the next version of that. Now, it could be said that the Kabbalah course is one of the installments of the Angel Magic course, and then there's several booklets that I have that are extensions of the basic Angel Magic course. So there are other resources, but we will do another 6 weeks of basic Angel Magic. All right, I guess that's it. Let's get going. If you are in a place where it is safe and appropriate, please close your eyes and begin to take some nice, long, slow, deep, relaxing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. With every inhale, feel more light and peace entering the body and mind. And with every exhale, let go of everything in your body that is tense, along with anything in your mind that you do not want. Inhaling peace and exhaling as you let go. We picture ourselves on top of a beautiful mountain in the center of a circular grove of trees. In the center of our circle, a bonfire blazes forth, and it lights us and the grove with a sacred golden light. This is the light of perfect love and perfect trust, and it burns away everything unlike itself, leaving us safe and serene. Into this sacred space, we invoke the presence of our Creator. To many of us, our Creator reveals themselves to be a mother and father, a goddess and God. We also invite the presence of our guides, our teachers, our angels. We ask that we be guided and led as we walk upon the way, becoming happier, more peaceful, more powerful, healthier, more magical, and more loving people. Blessed be. I was about 17 years old, I think, when I took the EST training, which they don't do anymore. I think they still have something kind of like it, but the EST training was a big deal in the 70s and the 80s, and early 80s, I think. And it was a 2-weekend boot camp where you kind of got aware of your ego and realized that a lot of what you thought you were isn't really who you think you are. And it was a very transformational experience. I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't do it again, but I'm glad I did it. It was a lot of work. But one thing I remember, Werner Erhard, the person who started that EST training, one thing he mentioned, which I then heard Marianne Williamson talk about it too later, is that male peacocks, when they have that beautiful plumage, one of the reasons why their feathers are so beautiful and intricate is that there are thorns that they eat and digest. And there's some sort of chemical interaction between the specific kinds of very hard thorns that they eat that help to create the more beautiful plumage. Not that they wouldn't have that plumage without the thorns, but when they eat the thorns, it becomes even more beautiful. And it's a wonderful image for us. It's a nice parallel between our own challenges in our lives, our own pain that we go through, and the transformation that's available to us through that pain, eating our way through the thorns of our lives. Now, it's not necessary. The infinite doesn't require us to experience pain in order to grow. In fact, the infinite would much rather we learn through joy than pain. But pain will do. Growth is what the goal is no matter what. So if we're not learning through joy and we are having painful experiences, those painful experiences can be used. But it's very important to realize that the painful experiences don't come from spirit in order that we grow, in order that we get more enlightened and more understanding of our process, of our spiritual existence. They are not necessary, those painful experiences. But it's very challenging to live in this world and not go through painful experiences, because this world is a world of pain. So when we find that we are going through a painful experience, what we tend to want to do is avoid it. Run away from it. I don't want pain, which is understandable. One of the reasons why we have physical pain especially is that it helps to highlight that something's wrong. Either stop doing what you're doing because it's making you hurt, or investigate what's wrong so that you can find the source of the pain and remove it or fix it or whatever. However, when we are involved in painful experiences, even though ultimately we want the pain to be removed, and that's natural and normal, what an enlightened person can do, or a person seeking enlightenment can do, is eat the thorns. Eat the thorns that are before us. And when we eat the thorns, we, in our own way, find that we have more beautiful plumage as well. In this way, pain can be a catalyst for transformation. And I know I've said this before, and I want to reiterate it, that it's not necessary for us to have pain in order to go through transformation. But if we are experiencing pain, it can be used for transformation. So there's all kinds of pain that we go through. It doesn't necessarily mean physical pain, because remember, if you are having physical pain, you want to see a professional about that. You want to figure that out. You want to recognize that your body's telling you that something's wrong. But we're not necessarily talking about physical pain today. We're talking about the painful experiences of being alive. And there's all kinds of painful experiences that we go through. We go through failure. We go through loss. We go through betrayal. We go through mistakes. And there's plenty of regret to go around. But if you, instead of regretting what happened, you can learn the lessons from what happened and then eat the thorn. And when you eat the thorn of what happened, you assimilate it and you grow into a more beautiful version of yourself as a result of it. Our hardships shape our character. They can foster wisdom in us. They can help us be more compassionate to ourselves and other people. They can teach us how to forgive ourselves. They can teach us how to forgive other people. They can deepen our appreciation for our own life and for the relationships in our lives. They can teach us lessons in resilience, determination, boundaries. Those are all the different beautiful colors of plumage that we start to grow in our aura. So the people that take the pain as a burden and carry it around, they don't get the plumage because they're not ingesting it. They're just letting the thorn stick them. The peacock isn't letting the thorn stick them. They're eating the thorn and digesting it and creating a beautiful plumage out of it. And that's the lesson that we are wanting to take just from that image of finding the meaning that can be found on the other side of that, whatever that suffering is, whatever that pain is. And even though suffering isn't necessary in order for us to grow, if it's there, it can be used as a pathway to inner strength and to spiritual connection. The more sometimes broken we feel in this world, the more of an opportunity we have to find greater love for ourselves and more compassion for ourselves and other people. Learning how to accept ourselves and learning how to accept other people, thorns and all. When we are going through a dark time, especially a very dark time, like the dark night of the soul, we understand that when we eat those thorns, that what we do is instead of being accosted by the illusion, we recognize that that darkness has no power over us, that it's actually becoming our strength. And there's nothing that this world can throw at us that we can't eat our way through and become more beautiful. When we let go of the false aspects of our own identity and embrace our own authenticity, we find a freedom. But sometimes the only way to do that is to go through whatever it is that we're going through. Munching our way through the problem. Munching our way through the fear, the ego, the self-doubt, in order to reveal that beautiful plumage, that beautiful aura, that beautiful soul that we are. And then our challenges are seen as turning points for our own self-discovery, for our own spiritual growth. Rather than punishments that are being rained down upon us, we are recognizing that those painful experiences, although not sent to us by Spirit, can be used by Spirit. There is nothing that the ego can come up with that Spirit can't use to bring us into freedom, that cannot bring us into release, that Spirit cannot use to help us find our way back to our soul. So when the ego throws a painful experience your way, rather than ducking and covering and running away, you can call upon that inner guide. You can call upon that inner resilience, that inner spirit, and say, no, we're going to just eat our way through this. We're going to eat those thorns. We're going to become more beautiful. We're going to become more resilient. We're going to become more ourselves. And we're going to be an example to everyone around us that nothing but beauty can exist for us. There's nothing that the ego can throw at us that is going to get us to believe in anything. There's nothing that the ego can throw at us that will get us to believe that anything of this world has power over us. The process of healing is one of self-acceptance. You can't heal something that you don't accept. If you had a pain in your foot, if you ignored the pain and you didn't go to the doctor and have it looked at, unless it was nothing, serious, it just something that was just going to pass and go away on its own. But if it's something that was serious, there's no way to heal it if somebody can't take a look at it. If you pretend like it's not there, you're not going to get it healed. When you go to if you go to the doctor with a pain, you don't say, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed to show the doctor my pain, so I'm just going to pretend like everything's okay." You don't do that. But for some reason, when it comes to spirit, we say, "Well, let me just get all my stuff taken care of on my own, and then I'll go to spirit. And then I'll have a good meditation. Or then I'll go talk to my inner guide. Or then I'll go to God," whatever your terminology is. "I'll get it all handled first, and then I'll go." But that's backward. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't say, "Let me learn how to play piano perfectly, and then I'll go see the teacher." Right? So the same thing goes with us. With when we're going through pain, we have within us an inner physician, if you will, an inner guide that knows exactly what to do. And that inner guide is not going to have you run away from what it is that you're afraid of or run away from what is painful. It's going to have you go right straight through it. And then not only are you going to be freed from that pain, but you're going to have the benefit of it. You're going to become more beautiful as a result of it. It's like as a wonderful parting gift. Wait, there's more. Not only are you going to be free of this problem, you get more beautiful plumage because of it. If you act now, right? So that's something that a lot of us don't even consider, that our pain, although not necessary, not sent to us by spirit, can be used not only as a way to become more spiritually free, spiritually gifted, spiritually enlightened, but also more beautiful. More happy. And isn't that the truth? When something really shakes you to your core and you get through to the other side of it, something like that doesn't have the power to shake you in the same way again. It just doesn't have the power to shake you in the same way because you know that you're resilient. You know that you can get through this. You know that it doesn't have power over you. You know that there's beautiful plumage on the other side of that, whatever it is. What a wonderful thing to know and to recognize that you don't have to be afraid of this pain. You don't have to be afraid of what the ego is throwing out at you, what the world is throwing out at you. You can eat those thorns, digest them, and become more beautiful as a result of it. So a lot of people, one of the reasons why I keep harping on certain aspects of this is a lot of people hear this kind of thing and they say, "Oh, okay, so it's all about pain. The more pain I can experience, the more enlightened I'll be." And that's not true. You can become enlightened and learn without ever experiencing pain. And that's exactly what your inner guide would love for you. Would love nothing more than to teach you all the lessons that you need to learn in a wonderful, joyous, free, fabulous, comfortable way. But most of us don't have those experiences yet, where we can just live our lives in a comfortable way. Most of us have lives where we have very painful experiences. We have people that betray us. We have people that die. We do lose pets. We do have arguments with people. We do lose jobs and careers and homes. Things happen in this world. And what the ego would love most of all, because it's programmed to do this, is to let those things destroy us. And what the inner guide wants you to know is that none of it has any power over you. That you and your guide can work together and eat those thorns and become free and have the extra benefits of having eaten those thorns. You find nourishment in them in a way that you didn't think was possible. Who thought that hard thorns would provide nourishment? Could provide nourishment. Those peacocks don't need the thorns to survive. They can eat other things. But if the foods are scarce, they'll eat the thorns, and then they become more beautiful. So you don't need to eat the thorns. But if the thorns are there, you can eat them and become more beautiful and work your way right through whatever those thorny experiences are. And you're not alone. You're never alone. You always have that inner guide walking with you. And if you're smart, walking a couple steps in front of you so that you can follow. You can follow their lead. A lot of times, if you're following their lead, you avoid the thorny experiences altogether. And that's a wonderful thing. Just, you don't need the thorns. But when they're there, isn't it nice to know that not only do they have no power over you, but you can use them in a way that is so transformative that you become better off. I had a craft teacher once that used to just laugh at people who would do reversing spells. She said, if you really have, her thing was, first of all, most people that think they need to do a reversing spell don't have curses coming at them. They're just making excuses for their problems. And they don't want to look at them honestly, so they're saying, oh, somebody must be hexing me. Somebody must be cursing me. That was her point of view. But she said, if somebody really is cursing you, why would you want to reverse it when they've taken all that trouble to throw so much energy your way? Why not clean it up and use it for your good? Was it just another way of saying, why not eat the thorns and become more beautiful? And so she would teach us how to do transformation magic. She would say, if you really believe somebody's hexing you or cursing you, your attitude should be bring it on. Because I'm going to pull that energy through, and I'm going to use, she would use planetary forces to clean it up and turn it into whatever she wanted. Turn it into money, turn it into new clients, turn it into health, turn it into whatever she needed. And it's a similar idea. It's a similar idea. Whatever life throws at you, you don't have to just bemoan it. You can use it. You can change it. You can transform it. And you have within you an expert sorcerer, an expert teacher in magic and sorcery that works inside you. And you can go to that guide and say, well, how can I get through this in the best possible way? And your guide will show you. See that thorn? Eat it. What? Yes, eat the thorn. And then you eat the thorn and you realize, oh, I destroyed the thorn by eating it. And look at all this pretty color. Look at all this pretty color. So, this is a great idea for the week. Again, we're not trying to create painful experiences for ourselves. There's plenty already there. When life throws something at you this week, because it will. When was a week that you didn't have something thrown at you? It doesn't have to be major even. But when life throws something at you this week, how are you going to respond to it? Try something different. Try saying, bring it on. I got this. I'm going to connect with that inner guidance, and I'm going to eat those thorns. Not only is that going to destroy the problem, the thorns are destroyed when they're eaten, but then they become assimilated, and they become a type of nourishment for the soul and for the aura, and we become more beautiful, more successful, happier, healthier, or whatever else we need. And I think that's a pretty good deal, that no matter what life throws at you, if you learn how to do it, you can change it. You can transform it. You can digest it and allow it to become something beautiful for you. And then you're not so worried about the world anymore and what it's going to throw at you. It just is more opportunity for beauty, more opportunity for success, more opportunity for things to work out for you. So this is a wonderful week for you to just look into each day. And as something comes to you, if you don't like it, you're not going to run away from it. You're going to get quiet for a moment, turn within and ask for help, and then learn how to assimilate it, digest it, and allow it to become something beautiful. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be. And it doesn't look like we have any questions, so thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And we'll be back on Wednesday for Witchy Wednesday for some sort of witchiness. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Honeypaw and Dre. And we'll see everybody real soon. Until next time, blessed be.